Hi, Michelle.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing
Oh,
good.
I like those glasses.
Thank you. You know what's funny, Michelle? I've been thinking about changing these glasses up. I was like, woo, I want something that's going to pop and stand out, make a big statement. That was last year.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden I'm like, I want to get rid of them. And now that I'm on the verge of taking action of getting rid of these big gigantic frames, I've been getting more compliments than ever.
Isn't that the funniest thing?
More compliments. I'm gonna be honest with you. In under 1 week, I think you're my fifth compliment of my glasses.
So what does that tell you?
No, it's trying to tell me to keep them, but I don't know.
I think so. Well, okay, so maybe it's not retiring the glasses.
I
Maybe
agree.
it's simply adding some more fun with another pair.
Exactly. And you know
Maybe
what?
that's what it
I
is,
like the way
right?
you think, Michelle. That's why you and I clicked so soon when we first met. Because I was saying to myself, I definitely want to get the other type of lenses, the more
Sure.
in the direction that I'm looking to go into for its purpose. But
Yeah.
I can probably keep and hold on to these.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly. There's nothing wrong. I mean, like I want a pair of those. So I want a pair of those the ones like with the wing backs. I
Oh,
think they're called wing backs.
the cat eyes.
Yeah, yeah, right. I mean, that'd be fun.
I think, wait a minute. Okay, now we're talking about designing for because our image is our brand. So
Yeah,
I think that would be amazing for you to get cat eye
right?
shade frames that are like a pop of color, like a teal or turquoise or something like that, that really stands out for you.
Yeah.
And it's a funky looking pair that you can wear when you're dressed down on a casual day or when you're dressed up professional and doing speaking engagements. How about that?
Correct. I agree. I mean,
I just
you know
hired
what's
myself as
funny?
your stylist.
I see. So it's and am I guess I don't pay much attention to style, right? I mean,
Uh-huh.
I but there are things that like I love color and I love doing fun things with like that, like
Uh-huh.
glasses or clothing or here's another one. You'll love this. It's we because we have a full hour, don't we? I think.
No, we have 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, then I'll save this for later.
No, go ahead, tell me. This is what it's all
Oh,
about. The
okay.
whole
All
point is
right.
for
So,
people to get to know who you are as a person as well as a
right.
professional.
Okay. Okay. So, part of what makes who I love to have fun with stuff like the glasses, like the wingbacks, like all that
Right.
kind of stuff. So, I'm gonna change my. You're gonna see this weird thing, right? So
Uh-huh.
just for a minute. And then I use this fun thing. So let me show you what this fun thing is. I use this like to do stuff like this. Isn't that great?
Say to you so bad, do me, but I can't.
Yeah, right. Isn't that great?
Oh
It's
my
so fun.
God.
So
You know,
this is
Michelle, that is amazing because right now, because of coronavirus,
yeah,
everything is virtual, right? You
I
can do your
know.
speaking engagements that way. Well, some
I
of them.
know.
For
Well,
the
some
crowd
of
that
them.
would appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Oh
Right.
my
Yeah.
God.
So
That is
this is
awesome.
such a fun tool. I mean, there's so like here's let me see this one. This
Look
is
at it.
this
It's
is
literally following you. It looks
I
so
know.
real.
Yeah, it's pure. So here's another one. This is kind of creepy. Uh, it's called Creepy Clown, is what that one's called. And this one's not as crazy. So this is kind of fun, right? It's like okay, I got my beret on, I got my hoop earrings in.
It even gave you earrings
I
too.
did. I know. Here's what, oh, let's see. Let me see if I found this one. Oh, this one I think is just hilarious. So
Okay.
it's like, I just got out of the shower, guys. Sorry, right?
Change your nationality.
I know, right? Isn't this is so funny? It's like, yeah, so I play with this all the time. I'll do it with my clients because this one's my favorite though.
I love that.
Who doesn't want to be a pretty princess?
Oh
Right?
my God, I love that one. That had a huge impact for me because it looked so real, like moving with you perfectly.
No,
And the great thing about it is that obviously it looks like you have that background banner or something like that Zoom allows people to do.
Yeah.
And it's not interfering with it at all.
Right.
So that means you can do a background image that supports the character that you chose.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so awesome.
I could pick, let me see. I could play with that real quick. That's funny. So if I picked a setting, I think maybe Edinburgh would be a good place to be for a pretty princess. I don't know. Oh, let me see here. That would be like this. So with castles and stuff.
Oh my God, that's awesome. You know what? I think you should stay this way for the interview, for the rest of the interview.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. Sure.
That is so awesome. Yeah. Oh my God. If they see the beginning of this, they know exactly what you look like.
Yeah, that's true. That's awesome.
That leads us to talking about what you do. You know, you mentioned that you do this fun fact thing, this fun activity for your clients. But what does that look like? Who are your clients? But first, what do you do? What is it that you do for a living?
So I like to tell stories because I think that the stories make the most sense. And so I'll give you a story because one of the stories that I've shared that resonate with people I work with young professional women. So in this particular case, there was a gal who she's a sergeant in a precinct in Wisconsin, and she was passed over three times for lieutenant over the course of 3 years. Super frustrated, right? Super frustrated. And so she was talking to a friend of hers, and she's like, I'm ready to walk into the chief and give him a piece of my mind, and this is bullshit, right? So her friend goes, that's probably not the best approach. I don't know. And says, why don't you have a conversation with Michelle? She goes, okay, all right, I'll start there. So we got on the phone, learned a little bit more about what she was struggling with, and we developed a plan of attack for this, which was creating a gap analysis for her. And that gap analysis was to look at when she was passed over for these promotions, what were the gaps? So what did the other people have that she didn't have? And what tenure existed, right? And why was she passed over? And then take that data and go to her lieutenant and say, can you help me fill in the gaps? And then get his approval to talk to the captain. And then talk to the captain and say, this is what I perceive my gaps to be, and this is what I think, these are the reasons why I was passed over. Can you validate that or add additional color to it? And he did that. And then she got an approval and permission to go talk to the chief. So now she's in front of the chief, right? And she presents this information to the chief. And she said, I asked these 3 questions. So what should I start doing? What should I stop doing? And what should I continue doing?
Wow.
And he said, Katie, I don't want you to stop doing anything. You're doing everything that you should. And I want you to continue to do what you are doing right now. He said, however, what I really would love to see you start doing is get involved in our public information office, which is that's the interface to the community, right? What's going on in the community and how are they contributing to the community and what are they doing? And right now it's even more powerful, right? Because all the stuff that's going on in the world. So this was in, well, let's say, I think it was a January or roughly December, January. I think it was December last year or January of this year, somewhere in there.
This was a recent story.
It's recent. It is recent. Yep, it's recent. And so she's like, all right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start working with the captain that manages this department and manages the PIO. And so she did exactly that. She dug in, and over the next few months, she became a presence there. She started helping there. She started dealing with some of the problems that existed in that area. I got a note from her. I want to say it was April. I think it was March or April, saying lieutenant position came open, and I got it. And
that's short time frame.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, in that short time frame. And here's the coolest part about it. So there's two pieces that are really cool. The first piece is she was the only female lieutenant in 100 years of that precinct to be promoted to lieutenant, right? So that's huge. That's huge. That's a game changer, right?
Huge.
Yeah. Yeah, huge game changer. And the chief told her that the reason that she got this promotion was because she sought out their advice. She asked, what can she do? What should she change? What are my gaps?
Yeah.
And her initiative is what brought her to the top.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's powerful.
Cool stuff, right?
You know what that tells me, Michelle? What you did, and this came from a woman, not a man. You showed her a better way to approach this. Yeah. Instead of her saying, instead of you taking the girl power approach, you go in there and don't just give them a piece of your mind, but give them half of your mind.
Yeah, right.
You can't lose that control, because think about that statement. I ought to go in there and give them a piece of my mind, where you're losing control. You're giving away your most valuable tool.
That's right.
And that is your mind. You don't want to walk in there looking like you've lost your mind to those people. And so hold on to that. Hold on to it. And what you did was you taught her how to succeed for her next journey with her career.
Correct.
You gave her the tools that she needed to continue succeeding in her new position. Now let's also talk about something else here that came to mind for me.
Okay.
Talk about the timing.
Yeah.
This all happened at a time that has truly impacted us as a nation as well as worldwide because of COVID-19. But it also, during COVID-19, after she got her promotion in a very interesting time when the world is impacted with so much separation and division of racism.
Right. True. Exactly.
More than ever. It's a world-breaking record of the separation and the different points of views and perspectives, and the outlashing, the efforts that people are trying to take to be heard, and then the outlashing of the people that's taking advantage of the opportunity to do wrong. And so, and with her being in the law enforcement and a female, and I'm assuming her nationality is Caucasian. She's white.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
So what an interesting position for her to be in at this time that the world is facing.
It really is. And that her involvement, so one of the things that we talk about is helping women become visible and valuable. Right? So women tend to act in a supportive role, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is fine. However, when we want to lead and we want to advance, we need to take advantage of using that power to be visible and valuable. And so that's exactly what she did. So we made a plan with her. That was the first part. That gap analysis was her plan. And then she took that plan to use her power as a sergeant and what she knows and how she can be such an asset to the organization in that public information office, right? To get promoted, which is what she did.
Within months.
Then, yes, and then she's having an impact. Yes. Then she's having an impact on the organization and using her voice as a female officer to help the community, to help the police force, right? That is the definition of being visible and being valuable in a company that needs help, right? That's cool. It's so cool to see.
And making history too.
Yeah, truly, exactly. Yeah, it's fantastic to see that happen. You know, and here's a tidbit. This is a tidbit that I didn't share. And the other tidbit in this is that she's also she is a lesbian officer.
Really?
So, yes.
Oh,
yes.
She's got all these components.
Yeah, she's got all the components going. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't always share that because, you know, some people are like, well, how does that work? But at the end of the day, I mean, that all factors in. And
it does.
You know,
That's who she is.
She could have gone in and said, hey, you know, I'm a female, I'm this, I'm that, but that wouldn't have served her in this, and it wouldn't have served her. It would not have gone well. It would have gone sideways. And so it's just that, though, I like to tell these stories because people can see themselves in these stories. They can see how. Exactly. They can see, and I mean, if she had every right to be frustrated. I mean, 3 years of not being promoted, and she was like, I don't even know if I belong in this organization anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even know if this is where I should be anymore.
Exactly. And to your point, she could have actually played a number of cards. Oh, is it because I'm a female?
That's right.
Yes, because I'm a lesbian? You know, you guys are putting me out because of this and that. And when you make those accusations without knowing for sure if that's the case, then you have these people stumped and they're turning around saying to themselves, it's a good thing she's been overlooked.
Yeah. And what's interesting about that is because we did talk about that. I said it could be that. It could be a form of harassment, right? It could be that. I said, however, are you ready to play that card? She goes, no, I'm not ready. I want it to be on my merit. I want it to be on how I show up as an officer. Wow. I don't want to be judged by being female or being a lesbian. I want it to be based on the fact that I am good at what I do and I belong here. I'm like, yeah, that's amazing, right? That's cool. That's power to me. That's exciting. That's
awesome. That is awesome. Now, I am assuming, and I hope this doesn't put you in an awkward spot, but I'm assuming if she's smart, she's going to continue being your client because she's going to need you more than ever.
Well, it's funny that you say that because when she sent me the note, right, she goes, and I want to continue the work because I want to figure out how to have a seat at the table, at the leadership table that's dominated by men. Because now she's the only female lieutenant at the leadership table, and she's like, they think differently. That's totally true. They do think differently. And so she's trying to figure out, all right, how do I navigate this? And so, yeah, we are continuing to do the work together and figure out how that works, where she should step, navigating the politics of that organization, which is really fun. So it's
Michelle, I got to tell you, I love the fact that you're teaching her as a woman how to play in the sandbox with boys, and it's coming from a woman.
Yeah.
Typically, that kind of advice and guidance come from a male figure because they can relate. What better way to get the advice and the guidance that you need to play with people outside of your comfort zone or outside of who you are than a man. And she didn't get that from a man. She's getting this from another female.
True.
That speaks volumes.
It's
cool.
It's all
working for her.
Yeah, I think so. And I think so for me, I think the reason that I'm able to help in this space is because most of my career has been in information technology, and that's dominated by men.
Yeah.
Plus, I've used all these tools and techniques over 20 years and been promoted 10 times in my career. So yeah. So that's, I have all of the tips and the tricks and the strategies that I've used to get promoted. And now I share all that information to help women create these moments, so what my why, Gracie, is to share information to create transformation. And I want to talk a little bit about that. So what that means is, and there's a difference between information and knowledge. And so the game changer comes when people consume the content or consume the information, and then that's connected to source being whatever you want it to be. It could be God, it could be whatever your spiritual connection is, the universe, doesn't matter, right? You connect that to source, which creates the aha moment. That's knowledge, right? That's where knowledge comes. And then that's my gift, is the gift of knowledge, by helping a woman do that. And then layering on top the wisdom, which is the problem solving components, the practical application of it, so they can move in the direction that they need. And any of us can consume consume information and content, right? Yeah. Any of us can consume that information. It's when we connected it to our core, and we're paying attention to what makes us amazing, right? With our spiritual being, and then that's when the aha moment comes. That's the aha moment that goes, oh, I'm feeling this. I understand this. And that's what creates transformation, I believe.
Wow, that's remarkable. I gotta say to you, Michelle, you have been one of the most intriguing interviews I've had the pleasure and honor of chatting with. And I just pray to God that this wilds in a lot of potential context for you and stuff, because so many people can benefit from this. In fact, some of the questions that I have in my mind that I would like to ask you, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for the Q&A part, so that people can have some really good stuff to talk about, to read about your actual services and your company. This is wrapping up our time, but you're going to sit tight because we're going to be chit-chatting after this interview. So I always like to do a fun fact question. And so far, you've already given us a fun fact about you, is that you have a quirky personality. You're extremely bubbly. I gravitate to people like you with your personality. Is lighthearted, you laugh at yourself, you're genuine. It's very easy to see that you're a very genuine and sincere person. I don't have to figure it out. I see it at the gate. And at the same time, you're serious about what you can do for others.
True.
So I like that healthy balance that you have. And I want this to be the beginning of a beautiful, long relationship for us.
I agree, Gracie.
I'm just going to put it out there. I'm putting my feelings out there. It's on my and I'm serving it to you on a platter. But I want this to be a long-going relationship for us. And we'll talk about in the Q&A portion of this interview how we met as well, okay? I'll save that
cool.
for stuff
that sounds good.
Learn. So here's my fun fact question for you. We got 2 solid minutes to make it happen.
All right, I'm ready.
So, we already know that you're quirky and you like to do fun things and stuff, and you're lighthearted and all that kind of stuff. So I think this question is fitting for you. Halloween is approaching. This interview may not be filmed in time for Halloween, but Halloween is approaching. And what's your favorite costume to wear and why?
Oh boy, there's so many good ones. So am I keeping it PG or?
Be you.
All right. Okay. All right. So are you familiar with that skit from Saturday Night Live?
I know.
It's called, all right. So there's one, I think it's called Dig in a Box.
I never heard that one.
All right. So I know this is over the top, but So I showed up. I'm like, I didn't have a regular costume, and I was invited to a costume party, and so I dressed up with a giant cardboard box. And so I was inside the cardboard box. My head was out of it, and then I had a gift wrap the box. And on the top, I had a penis that I had made, and there I was. That was what I went as, reenacting that skit. I won second place. I didn't get first place, which I was actually sorely
second place. You won a prize.
I know. Yes, I did get a prize, but I didn't get first place. But that's all right. I thought it was pretty good considering that I threw this together. I think it was the day before this party was supposed to happen.
I can't with you. With you.
So now you'll have to go look up that there's a little song, YouTube. Yeah. There's a whole thing that goes with it. So anybody that has seen that knows exactly what I'm talking about. And they actually knew what it was. Which is kind of funny.
Oh God, this is a riot. Michelle, thank you so much for this time. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. We have so much more to talk about. And then I'm just super excited about getting those Q&As over to you so that people can learn a lot more about you.
Thank you so much for it, Gracie. This has been awesome.
Great.
So much fun.
Sit tight.